Go ahead and intro this shit, man. What's going on? What's going on? It has been so long, but we are back with the next installment of Blassic, the podcast where we review all of the black classics in film and television. It is me, your host Louis B, and
your boy K-Rob. What up, fellas? How you doing, ladies?
Kevin, it's so good to see you, man. Give me some, man. Oh my God, I missed you.
Man? I missed you too, boy.
And for everybody watching, listen, I apologize. We apologize. Sorry. 4 months can just pass.
Damn,
quick. It seemed like it, right? November, December, 5.
Shit. Damn.
Hey, that will never happen again. I'm sorry. If you know what's in my bag, you've already come to know our standard for consistency. Listen, man, as you can see, we are back. We are back trying to figure things out, is what I will say. We are back trying to figure things out. New spaces. Honestly, I think that this is going to push Blassic forward in a different direction. I think Blassic is going to be on some different type shit, man. Because the vision that I have for this, I keep saying I can't wait to film this in a theater.
Oh, that's good.
Like when we get to set it up how we really want to set this thing up as a content piece, Blassic is gonna be insane. But for now, you know what I'm saying? We're trying to figure this shit out. Yeah. And we want y'all to enjoy the content that we put out, as you guys have been doing. I promise you, Blassic does great numbers still. And I'm like, wow, we haven't dropped.
No, I mean, because I not to leave it too long, but I think what's in my bag, studios in general, everything you guys do, the podcast, I think, and everything that you do, it does pretty well. So you keep the people you keep the people's eyes on you. It's just that sometimes we kind of do this sparingly, but
Yeah, man, life. I used to clown y'all niggas when y'all used to say, "Oh, life." Yeah. But I get it. I get it, man.
It happens, man. I
get it. Listen, man, we're not gonna belabor the point any longer. We are doing a Blassic like none other. I would say it's definitely in my top 5 Blassics of all time. Boomerang. Oh my God.
Yes,
Listen,
sir.
First thing I'm gonna say is I love this movie because I think it's certain movies that really just show you how much of an actor you are. We look at, I think up until that point, 92, we always looked at Eddie Murphy as the funny guy. You know what I'm saying? But he
Which
literally
he still is.
Yeah. But I remember seeing this movie, and I was very late seeing this movie. I think I seen this movie when I was about, maybe like 02, something. It was very late. I'm a young kid, you know what I'm saying?
That still may be.
And I was still too young to be wondering.
That still might be earlier than me, though, to be honest.
Really?
Probably.
Wow.
Maybe. I just don't know the age, man.
Going back to the point, I think what sold it for me is that even as a kid, I'm used to seeing the Professor, all of these different funny roles, and he came on, which is some shit he did in the past, as a cool ass dude. He was the epitome of cool. Like, not even gonna cap. I would probably look up when I was young. I was like, I want to dress like that when I get older. All of that shit is out of style now, but it's boy. But I was like, I want to dress like that. Like I want to look like that. Like I want to be Mac Daddy. Like I want to be smooth like that. When I was a kid, I always wanted to be smooth.
You still can. You just can't do the shoulders. The shoulders just can't be that big. That's all it is.
The shoulders was nuts. Niggas was walking around like vampires.
Yeah, but yeah. And I think Eddie did that purposely. I look at some of the production notes. He purposely did that. He wanted to set himself different from all the other things that you saw, Beverly Hills Cop and all the other movies that came before that, Trading Places. He did that purposely, that whole style situation.
Yeah, man. I ain't gonna forget that movie. 1992 is when this movie came out.
Yeah, 1992.
3 years before me.
Right.
Listen, dog. This movie is just like I keep saying. It's the epitome of cool. In my opinion, it's just certain movies that kind of teach you about relationships. A lot of them we've already reviewed. We reviewed the first ever one, Love Jones. We've done Brown Sugar. And I ain't gonna lie, bro, Boomerang is one of them ones that teach you about relationships, man. Yeah. In such a dope way. And to add, I love that this was one of those movies that they wanted to make sure they captured black people in the best light. All of them had great jobs. Nobody's trying to make ends meet. Everybody's at the top of their game, doing different things. You had people running marketing agencies and ad companies and stuff like that. Like, different minds of just different ways of thinking outside of a regular factory job or something. You know what I'm saying?
And you had Chris Rock in the mailroom, but yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
But he was in that big ass corporate building.
He could have worked up.
That's a corporate mailman.
He might own the bitch now, but I agree with you. I put to me, Boomerang is the #1 romantic comedy. I put it right next to, even though Love Jones is not a romantic comedy, it's just a romance. I put it right there neck and neck. It is the #1 romantic comedy for me. And it's dope that you mentioned that they were trying to do something different than what you had seen before. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing about that, with
92, you coming right off of like Boys in the Hood, or just having us in a crazy light. No disrespect to John.
No. We love those movies and everything. And the funny thing about that is during that time when you had the reviews and things of that nature, people pointed that out, but not like positively. Like there was white people saying they liked the movie, but they just felt it was like unrealistic, and that was the thing about it. And Eddie Murphy got on one of the late night shows saying like, "How is it that you feel like this is unrealistic and all this other shit that you've seen is realistic? I did this purposely."
That's such fancy jargon for how can y'all make a movie with niggas being successful?
Right, and that's how he felt. And crazy. I mean, we can go on and on, but I feel you, and I'm not sure when I saw the movie. But the movie is something I had always kind of seen. Mm-hmm. I've known of. I can remember seeing like maybe the cassette tape or like the actual CD that my mom owned back in the day, which we'll talk about later. I was trying to find it, but couldn't find it. I'm sure I got it somewhere around. But we'll get into it because we're getting ready to get into the black facts anyway.
Let's go ahead and get into the black facts.
All right. So as you said, the movie was
keep that going.
As you said, the movie was released July 1st, 1992. It made $131 million on a $42 million budget, which was excellent.
Sounds like we
won.
It
was pretty good. No, we definitely did. I think it was like number 13 of all movies that was like highest grossing movies of that year. Okay. So that's pretty good based on what the movie was. No. It was great. So the movie stars Eddie Murphy, Robin Givens, Halle Berry, David Allen Greer, Dag, Martin Lawrence, Grace Jones, Jeffrey Holder, and Eartha Kitt, with the cameo appearance by Chris Rock. So it was a great movie.
Man. Star-studded cast, man. Just that community of black excellence that always kind of stuck together at that time. You got people that's just recurring. Mm-hmm. Tisha Campbell was in this. And you got her and Martin. You got David Allen Greer, and you know what I'm saying? Like it's just it's a family. John Witherspoon, like it's all a community, man.
Right. So the film garnered nominations at the BMI Film and Television Awards and the MTV Awards. So it got awards. The soundtrack album, peaked number 4 on the U.S. Billboard 200 charts, reached the top spot on the top R&B hip hop, of course. It was certified gold by the Recording Industry Association of America and eventually reached triple platinum status by April 1995.
Crazy.
And the album itself marked the big like breakout single for Toni Braxton. She didn't have an actual solo album until maybe a few years later, with Love Should Have Brought You Home Last Night. So I know y'all know that song.
Oh man.
And so that's really dope.
Listen, he said the shit went triple platinum. This is when soundtracks were looked at like albums. They were crafted like albums. I will say I do think we're kind of getting back to that, which is good to see Hollywood do. But man, that was a great time. Them 90s soundtracks, oh my God, every movie. That's why we talk about them.
Mm-hmm. Also, Boomerang is noteworthy for being unique, as it was the most expensive movie with the all-black cast and production crew for the time. So, I mean, that's a big deal.
Hey, bro, Eddie Murphy ain't cheap. He gonna spend that bread. He gonna spend the money, but because he's smart, he know that for a real businessman, you spend that money to get it right back. Right. Eddie Murphy's always had that mindset.
This was around the time that actually, I write a whole bunch of stuff on my other job about Eddie Murphy. At this time, he actually had He actually had a deal. He was like 21 years old, and he signed a deal with Paramount to do like 3 or 4 movies. This was around the time Boomerang. This was, what else was this? Coming to America.
Oh, man.
And there was The Vampire in Brooklyn. So this was one of those, part of that deal.
That's
so,
another one.
That was part of that deal. So yeah. We can get into the movie, I guess.
The Black Facts is good, man. Let's go ahead and get into this breakdown of the film. So we already know Eddie Murphy is playing the infamous Marcus Graham. He is a ladies' man. You know what I'm saying? He can have his way with the ladies. He know how to talk to them, know how to wine them and dine them. Man, and that's just what it is. He's a successful ad executive in New York City. I think that we saw firsthand the game that my boy had. What is her name, man? I like to call her the nice Robin Givens, and that's so disrespectful because they look alike. They look so alike.
Layla Rochon.
Layla Rochon.
She was Sean Wayne's girlfriend sometimes on the Wayans Brothers. I love her too, Layla Rochon. She actually does kind of look just like her.
It's so crazy, and y'all put them both in the movie. Just fuck up my head.
Yeah, I'm telling you. If you didn't know these people, you wouldn't even know who's the difference.
But but man, they just start off by showing us a scene with him getting her and with some shit with a damn dog that
lying
he didn't
like
have.
A motherfucker.
Just lying his ass off.
We have to point that out. Lying like a motherfucker, to be honest. I'm not down in it, because I've lied. But yeah, lying like a motherfucker.
And we see his game, and Marcus is a very funny guy. I think that it's certain things in life that kind of go to the person that I am now. I think he's the reason I'm a footman.
I can see that. When I would see these scenes, I'm like, I bet Oprah can relate to this. And it's funny because the director actually, this joke was based around like when the director or one of the writers, it was actually the writer. The writer had this whole thing about women's back teeth. So if he saw the women's back teeth was missing or something, then he wouldn't fuck with them. So this is kind of that roundabout way that when he wrote that. So that's very interesting that you brought that up. That's
this is insane, man.
Yeah.
So we automatically know my boy's a ladies' man. He can get them how he gets them. Until you meet that one. He meets this new one by interesting situation. So there's a new merger going on with his company, and that brings a new energy, a new lady into Marcus's life. And once he saw her literally going up to the same building as he's going to, he just could not stop himself. He had to approach her. He saw her. She fine as wine and divine. I gotta pull up on you one time.
He's flexing. He's talking about how he's gonna get this big promotion and this. He talking big shit, not realizing
it was her promotion.
Right. It was big shit. She's like, oh yeah.
She said, you working for me, buddy.
Right. It's like, oh yeah. This is definitely what niggas do. This is definitely what we do. And her name is Jacqueline in the movie. So yeah.
For sure.
Jacqueline. She's beautiful too. Gorgeous.
Man, so basically with this new merger, you bringing new energy because the name of the company is Lady Eloise.
Right.
Lady Eloise is bringing a new product, so you're bringing a new person in, and her name is Strange.
Strange, yes, played by Grace Jones.
Spelled strange.
Yeah, and Grace
Very
Jones
smart.
is wonderful in this movie, and
yes,
and it's so funny because like I said, I was reading production notes. There was like a lot of the things that she wore, she actually created because she's like a style icon at that time, and a lot of times she would ad-lib certain things, and certain people like Halle Berry, when we get to like their reactions to the certain things she said and did, it was like, wow.
I like it. I like it, man.
And another thing I would like to say about Jacqueline, Robin Gibbons, when she was cast for the part, originally producers were hesitant because during that time she had like a she was kind of being...
Was that around the time?
Right, around that time. So that a lot of people were kind of consider her a gold digger. Not even that, but kind of consider her a gold digger.
Sorry.
So they were kind of not touching that time. But I'm glad they decided to go with that. So yeah, so we got Strange. She comes into the mix. And you know,
Strange comes into the mix, and now you got a new product to sell. And we kind of see that, man, Marcus just be getting around, dog.
He does. I mean,
one of the funniest things, man. Shout out Eartha Kitt.
Rest in peace,
Eartha Kitt. Just a goddess. She killed that role.
She did. And originally, when she saw the script, she almost turned it down because a lot of stuff that was saying in the script, so that they pretty much rewrote it and tailored it to her. So Eartha Kitt plays pretty much Lady Eloise, and she's like the
name of the company
originally.
Yeah,
she's actually getting phased out for Strange
for that merger.
So Eddie Murphy is like, oh, this is who I need to be dealing with to get my, and so he does that,
Funniest part about him bagging Lady Eloise, that butler that she had. My boy, every time he got his chance, when he just knew what Lady Eloise was on.
Yeah. That's black man
like
for you. It was he didn't even. That's one of the funniest parts of the. That's one of the funniest parts of the movie.
Man,
like legit.
So at this point, you know, my boy Marcus has already got his mind set on Jacqueline. I'm like, man, I want this girl. She's bad. I'm telling the homies, this is who I want. I'm eyeing her. You know what I'm saying? We even have like a big gala event where they introduce Strange. I'm telling her, I'm feeling you. I'm letting you know I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you bad. I'm feeling you deep, ma.
Yeah.
And she's just like, my dude, chill. Like,
we also got to mention that his homies are played by Martin Lawrence and David Allen Greer. So we also got to mention them.
And they have some very great comedic bits in there, from his shit, from David Allen Greer's shit not working properly to
Martin Lawrence just
being
the young nigga around the older shit.
Man, it's such a dope ensemble, dog.
Right.
But my boy is eyeing in on Jacqueline. He finally gets the opportunity during a work trip to New Orleans, which I must say, if nobody's been there just yet, get your ass to New Orleans. One of my top cities to go to.
I've never been there. I'm planning on it.
It's just such a lovely place. It's not the cleanest place. It's not the most beautiful place, but that culture.
The best places on it.
That culture, you feel that. So I ain't mad, man. He got him some ass out there in NOLA, and he was making sure he tried to get that. He was trying to stay cool, but Jacqueline was like, man, I think I'm gonna get it to you now.
Fun fact. The scene that was shot in New Orleans, where it was supposed to be New Orleans, was actually shot in Washington, D.C. Everything else was shot in New York, but that was shot in Washington, D.C.
They could have just went to Washington, D.C. That's a black ass city.
It's a budget. Too. It might be a budget thing. It might be a budget thing. But yeah, ironically enough, we get to a situation where he's feeling her. He's really feeling her, but she's not.
And by the way, she has great feet.
She does. So that's great for him. So he's feeling her. She's not feeling him. She pretty much does the opposite of everything that he was originally doing. He says, I'm not feeling you. This kind of,
she boomeranged it on his ass.
This, to me personally, this kind of foreshadows that I don't need no man, independent era. This right now.
Go.
So I'm focused in on my career, my work, and it details the difference between him and her. He lied a lot earlier. Now she's telling the truth, but she's pretty much doing the same thing, but telling the truth.
And it's just interesting for Marcus to see a little splitting image of himself, like. She messed up with some tickets to a play, but she paid him back for it. She didn't show up to the play, so he felt like he wasted his money. But as soon as she came by to fuck on him, she gave him the money, and he felt so used. And then she just stopped talking to him. Like when you get that boomerang coming right back at you, it can feel a way.
I don't think he realized that. He did not realize it at that moment. I think there was a moment in the movie, I'm going to tell you the moment in the movie where I felt it for him. They were sitting down watching a basketball game, I think it was.
Oh, God.
She was watching a basketball game.
She was being a homie.
She showed more interest in the basketball game than him. When that happened, I was like, okay, I feel for him. But I think it was another character that had to show him the way he realized it. And that actually introduces Halle Berry's character. Halle Berry is played by, Halle Berry's character is, let me see, I forgot the actor.
Her name is Angela.
Angela played by Halle Berry, who she's actually Jacqueline's assistant, right? So she's just kind of, I'm not even going to lie to you, I don't like competing. To me personally, I would pick Halle Berry over Robin Givens any day.
I have no idea why they had Halle Berry playing like the second fiddle chick. I'm so confused.
Career-wise, she would have been second fiddle. They're both beautiful.
Halle Berry, the homie chick.
She would have been, and that's movie making, that's filmmaking, that's storytelling. Because you can't, in real life, you can't. I mean, this has nothing to do with their personal lives at this moment. But you can't tell me that this is just a homegirl. At this point, no, you can't.
But it's so funny because Marcus literally hooks her up with Gerard, David Allen Greer's character.
Right.
And it's so funny because you just know when shit don't like really mesh, when shit is not working out. You could tell that their vibe the entire time was just like a friendly vibe. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like they could. I really felt like they could.
I never felt like they broke the mold.
I
she started talking
disagree.
that Chinese, he was like, okay.
Well, I mean, but it's just because I just
Like,
didn't
what
think
the fuck?
she just wasn't funny. I'm not. She was not.
She was
funny.
corny.
That was not funny.
They
but,
played Holly.
But I mean, but it wasn't funny to him, but it was funny in the movie. But yeah. But I disagree. I feel like they would have had good chemistry. I think that kind of rivals, real life a little bit.
Yeah.
But anyway, so like you said, they're kind of kicking shit. He pawns her off on her. And then they're kicking shit and you see it. And I'm like, oh yeah, David Allen Greer got some little girl. That's what he was wanting. And I was feeling it. You said you weren't feeling it.
They felt such like friends, and it was so funny. Literally, the scene that made me realize that and just brought it home was the changing scene, which is also one of the most funniest scenes. Shouts out to John Witherspoon. Listen, man, a Thanksgiving that just went awry. A Thanksgiving that just went awry. So Angela's over there. Gerard's over there. Who else is over there? I don't think
the mom played by B.B. Drake.
The mom showed up. John Witherspoon showed up. Who else showed up? Of course, Marcus is there. It's his fucking house. Yeah, so we're all there for Thanksgiving dinner. You know what I'm saying? Everything's cool. The vibe is cool. Man, the parents gave us some of the greatest bits that still just funny as hell. The mushroom suit coming out and everybody know you done fucked. Like everything that they did, it just shows you OGs always gonna be OGs.
So I'm gonna throw some fun facts into it. If you notice, the actress name is B.B. Drake that played the wife.
Shout out.
Now, B.B. Drake, if you recognize, B.B. Drake is also the actress that played John Witherspoon's wife in House Party when he's yelling out of the window. And fast forward years later, she's also Miss Pearly in Friday After Next.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the thing about that, and the thing actually about that, again, and we're gonna wrap it up and go past the scene. The scene with John Witherspoon was not originally in the script. It actually had it wasn't shot until after the film had already completed. Right? And then actually Eddie wanted him. The studio didn't want him in the movie. Wow. They didn't want, it was like, who is he? We don't want him like that. This was like shortly after. I mean, this is hindsight. Hindsight is 2020. This may have been right after, maybe before Friday. I can't remember. This is probably before Friday. So John was like, I want him in it. I want him to play David Allen Greer's dad, which is ironic because I don't think he was but 10 years older than David Allen Greer.
Right.
And I think B.B. Drake may have been 2 years older than David Allen Greer. So basically, he just said, hey, Eddie said, we want you to come in. He was like, where's my scenes? Oh, you're just gonna ad-lib everything. Just show up. You show up. He actually picked the costume. He picked everything. He picked it himself. Basically, he got to set. Eddie said, look, those are the producers. Those are the people right there. They don't want you here. I'm gonna say this. We're gonna say this. And it is probably one of the most quotable lines in the movie. And when you think about that movie to this day, and it's garnered like John Witherspoon's catchphrase, bang, bang, bang.
Bang, 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 bang.
We love that. We love that. Love to see it.
What do you say? What do you say about the what do you say about the pussy? I
got you. So Marcus,
go ahead.
They said the girls at the office got you pussy whipped.
Yeah.
Don't be pussy whipped. Reverse that. Whip that pussy. Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah. Let's go, man.
I love it, man. I love it. He's an OG. He's so great.
Oh, God. All right. So back to this Thanksgiving dinner that went awry. Everybody's now gone, and now Angela is left in the house with Marcus. They're supposed to be washing dishes.
Helping out.
So they wash dishes. I just don't see a scenario where I'm leaving my girl. I mean, yeah, it was with my buddy, but y'all work together, which is probably more of the reason he felt comfortable leaving him over there. But come with me.
I see where you're going, but they're all so much.
I can actually sit here and help you wash these dishes too.
I think the whole thing, I can see it. I don't have a what you call on that, and I usually do. But they were all such friends. He pawned her off on her. He probably had to take his parents back to the airport or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's where you do start to get the kind of them talking to each other, initiating conversation, getting to know each other. So I don't know. I don't have a hesitation for that, but I can understand that. Because that's what they real good friends. So I get that.
So of course, after washing these dishes, these niggas tired. You know what I'm saying? They slouched over on the couch and all this woozy wazy. And now they feeling it. They watching a little show. They trying to fall asleep, and now it turns into them looking at each other in each other's eyes, just gazing. And I think it's time to kiss you. And he says, "Yo, you should be doing this." And she's like, "Man, fuck that shit."
I feel so. I'm glad you're able to smile about this because the only person I felt bad for in this movie was David Allen Grier's character. I did not feel bad for Eddie Murphy or nobody in this movie.
I feel that.
Right.
My boy, like
I felt so bad.
The shit that made this shit so corny, dog. After you fucking with her, you fucking with Angela now. You meet up with your homeboy. You meet up with Gerard. Yo, how you and Angela? Just a dirty Mac. I think.
Listen, when I tell you this is how stuff happens, really, like I'm telling you, I was dealing with somebody. Ironically enough, we were all working together, and when it wasn't going too good, a friend of mine said, "Yo, forget her, fuck her, don't worry about her." And then he ended up fucking her, or maybe he was fucking around at the same time.
Yo, I have a backdooring pass. They used to call me backdoor. It's probably because of Boomerang. The movies I watched, man.
It's very realistic. It's very realistic. I don't care what nobody says.
But man, so now my boy Gerard finds out he's trying to ease his way into. Hey, so y'all not good. Okay, so like, if she were to date other people, like, would you be cool or
He said yeah,
my
but
nigga started to figure it out. You know what I mean? Like,
right. He says yeah, but then he doesn't realize exactly.
Like you realize your boy, and it's like, damn. Like now I know that my boy is dating somebody that it didn't really work out 100% with us, but I wasn't even able to see if it could have.
I wouldn't do that. I feel like if I've had situations where my homeboy's ex-girlfriends was like digging me, feeling me, and I was like, nah, you my ex-boyfriend, you my friend's ex-girl, so I won't deal with you. Because niggas can say all they want. I don't care. But you figure out they do. You care. And ironically enough, women have this kind of sense of like, something's going on. He's moving away. Because all of a sudden now
Jackie want to apply pressure.
She back to apply pressure. Not because she really want to fuck with him, but because she just want to fuck him or something like that.
She know that she got him wrapped around her finger.
Here come this fool.
Now he coming back.
Right.
Oh, Marcus, she got it going on again. Like,
right.
If a chick ever said you got it going on again,
right.
What are you talking about?
The fuck you talking
I've been
about?
had this shit.
And see, this is why I did.
You got it going on again.
And this is why I said I feel bad for David Allen Grier's character because he ended up taking Shorty. Then the first sign of interest that Shorty shows him again, then I'm going back. And I feel sorry for Halle Berry and David Allen Greer. So I was like, fuck Eddie Murphy at this point.
So now, of course, Angela realizes that, bruh, you've been stepping out on me with this. Even though she knew the situation, you just think that a person gonna change because of you. Sorry.
Right.
But, you know what I'm saying, she finds out she they not together no more. He in the doghouse, so they say.
Right, and then the funny thing about that is, damn, I keep forgetting Halle Berry's character's name. Angela. So Angela does this thing where she kind of picks up when he goes back, or while he was with her, he's kind of slacking at his job. So she takes it upon herself to go to her boss to say like, hey, whatever y'all got going on. She does it nicely, yeah. And she's looking at her like, bitch, do your job. Cause like, to be honest,
like, what this got to do with you? Business.
Right. She was not in her place. Because to be honest, when you look at the grand scheme of things, she wasn't doing nothing wrong. She wasn't lying. She didn't do it. He lied constantly. She wasn't lying. And she's like, hey man, mind your business.
Yeah. So now we get to the point where, of course, Marcus wants her back. He realizes I'm lost without you, which I must say, a movie is gonna movie and it's gonna movie fast. Mm-hmm. That nigga went from Jacqueline to I love Angela so quick. And I'm just like, when this nigga started saying, yo, I can't breathe without you, I'm lost without you, I said, this nigga is still running the game, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, you're right.
In my opinion.
Nah.
I can't breathe without, yes you can. Stop saying stupid shit like that.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with you. I can understand that. I mean, like you said, like I always say, a movie go movie. That's what it's
for sure. But my boy ended up getting her back, man. Of course, the movie has to end on a high note. He leaves. He figures out that Jacqueline is not where I need to be. I love that little moment because he thought he was gonna get him a little something. She thought she was gonna get her a little something, and he was like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, why are you here if you really want to be with her? Why are you here with me? He said,
you know what?
exactly. And got the hell on smooth, man.
Yeah, man.
So he went to get his girl back in such dramatic fashion, using them damn kids, man.
That's how you got. I mean,
Gotta
at this
use
point,
them. Why
he
not?
used dogs in the beginning. Now he gonna use kids.
He's still running the same game from the beginning to end. He did not learn.
No. I mean, it's an element of game that has to be used whatever you do. So I mean, it is what it is. At least he's not lying at this point.
Oh God.
He's not lying at this point.
Oh
So.
man.
Those kids were really good too in the scene
Yeah,
that they were
man.
in, especially the little girl. So yeah.
So listen, everything ends on a high note. He gets his girl back and they together again, man. It's Marcus and Angela. It is what it is, and that's Boomerang, y'all. That's our little scene by scene breakdown, man. What I will say, because I kind of wanted to, let's get into the soundtrack right quick. Let's do that. Because that soundtrack is literally, when we talk about Boomerang, we talking about it being regarded as one of the top, not only just soundtracks, but top albums of all time. Just top bodies of work of all time. This Boomerang soundtrack. Listen, man, so many songs on this that I love. We started with Hot Sex on a Platter. Listen, man,
one of my favorite songs.
it's so many songs on here. You got the Johnny Gill song. Such great shit, man. What are some other songs you got in there?
My favorite, let's see, it's been a minute since I've actually heard it. So I can say End of the Road, Boys and Men, we love that song.
Yeah, they did have that on there.
Love Should Have Brought You Home Tonight. You know,
Bringing
the
Out
ladies
Tony.
love the song.
Yep.
And ironically, I wonder had she written that song before she saw the movie, because that's literally a line out of the movie. Halle Berry actually says that.
Love should have brought your ass home. Yeah. You know
Hot
they
Sex,
did that.
Hot Sex actually. But what it looks like, a total of 6 songs actually chart on the actual Billboard. So what I would say it's probably what?
Hey, 6 out of 12.
6
that's
out
half.
of 12. That's half the
your shit.
songs. That's half the songs, man. Of course. And I'm surprised that Hot Sex was the dead last. So that's interesting to that. But yeah, it's iconic soundtrack, iconic movie, so iconic. It lasts the test of time. So much so that, you know, back in 2018, 2019, they had a spin-off show with the children. I thought it was cool. It's pretty decent.
And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wish that they would have saw it through a little bit.
Right. I think the only connection there was I think maybe Halle Berry produced it, and which was cool. It wasn't bad. I mean, it was really a show where you could watch it. It could be its own thing, and I saw what it was coming, and I was like, okay, this is not one of those situations where people say, oh my God, you're killing it. No, it was not. It was cool.
And I thoroughly enjoyed the show for what it was. When it was on, I was like, wow, this is decent, man. I like where they went with it. It was an interesting twist. I kind of, we all wanted to see Eddie, but we all at least wanted to see Holly. We wanted to see somebody, but
for Halle Berry to produce it, at least she could have showed up. At least she could. I don't recall if anybody. At least you could have showed up. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I love this movie, man. Like I said, it's literally in my top 5 of all time, man. Just the epitome of cool.
Number 1 romantic movie for me.
Yeah.
Number 2 romantic movies in general. Maybe 1.
It's still lessons in this movie that I carry with me today. Like your feet gotta be pristine.
That's the number 1 lesson.
Like what's up,
freak nigga.
But man, we are done, man. Let's go ahead and get up out of here. Listen, man, I thoroughly enjoyed this, Kev. I'm glad to be back at it. And we are back to being consistent, man. We are sorry. But listen, man, life. You know what I'm saying? We back at it. We bite. So, it's been another installment of Blassic with me, Louis B, and
your boy K-Rob.
Ready to go.